So this was a topic we discussed. We are in this topic. At the time we discussing, the time is over about this topic. So this is the crankshaft design of the side crankshaft. So for the side crankshaft only single arm is there. Okay. For the center crankshaft, this is a figure here. It is animation is whatever rotating. This is the center crankshaft. So if you remove one side of the web portion, this one, so that is the side crankshaft here. So due to the thrust force of the piston, see here thrust force of the piston transferring to the here shaft. So due to that reason, there will be two forces, two components are there, tangential force and radial force. Again, this tangential is having the two horizontal tangential forces, and this radial is having the two radial components that we discussed in the last class. Okay, so main cause of these are all generating is, what is the cause of the generating these all forces? The main cause is the FQ force here. Okay, so now one by one we are calculating what is HT1, HT2, horizontal tangential force 1, horizontal tangential force 2. Okay, this is the force, radial force 1, radial force 2. So one by one calculating here. So these are already we known. Taking moment about to calculate HT1. So where is the HT1 in this diagram? So this diagram at any cost you have to remember about. Whatever the diagrams I'm uh, showing on the screen, these are, there is no change in diagram. Whatever the force is acting, whatever the reactions I'm showing here, okay, and what is the distances A, B to B, these are all the okay, these are all the standard notations. It means if you remember this diagram, easily can find out the all various parameters. Okay, and now H1 I am calculating. Where is the H1? See here, here HT1 here, and where is HT2? HT2 here we can find the HT2. Both are in the opposite direction. Okay, so directly I'm writing the equation. Same equation we discussed in the previous topic, the number one topic, when the crank is at the dead center. So HT1 equal Ft into A plus B by B. Okay, and HT2 is Ft by Ft into A by B, and HR1 Fr into A plus B by B, HR2 Fr into A by B. So here derivation is not important because in examination asked to only solve the numerical. So these equations are only the important. Derivation is not important here. So wherever the I'm finding the important, that I'm explaining. Okay, Babu. Whatever the making, I'm making the rectangle, that equations are very important. And the reactions at the bearing 1 and 2, see here with the bearing 1, and this is the bearing. Here we can find the bearings at 1 and 2 due to the flywheel weight. Here the flywheel weight is going to applying here. Flywheel weight, and as well as here we are applying the belt. Okay, due to the flywheel weight, due to the belt T1 plus T2, the reactions. What are the reactions? Same reactions is there. We discussed in the previous topic. What are those? So see here. What is this? Is the fourth one. V1, V2, and H1 dash, H2 dash. This is all. So this V1, V2 due to the flywheel. This V1, V2 due to the flywheel. This is the reactions. And due to the belt tension, the reaction is H1 dash, H2 dash. It means the fourth, the fifth, sixth, and seventh. These equations are same equations we are going to use in this topic. Okay, same equations we are going to use here. What are those? V1 and V2, H1 dash and H2 dash. These four equations same as in the first topic. Okay, and now one by one parameter we are calculating. What is the first parameter here? The first parameter, design of crank web. So already I written the title, design of crank web. So the design of crank web, the critical section we have to select here. So crank web is this is the one. This whatever the side rotation is there, that is a crank web. So critical section we have to select. So where we can find this critical section? Here at the joining. Here at the joining, we can find the critical section. Okay. So this is the critical section. Now at this particular situation, particular point, the stresses are first one. The stresses are generating the first one, bending stress, due to the tangential force. Same, this bending stress due to the radial force. And the second one, compressive stress due to radial force. So see here, due to the radial force, there will be a bending stress and there will be a compressive stress. And shear stress due to twisting movement. Or tangential force. It means two components having the two stresses. It means Ft is having the bending stress and Ft is having the shear stress. In same manner, Fr is having the bending stress and the radial force is having the compressive stress. Total how many stresses here? Four stresses are there. So see here, this bending and compressive together we can call as one kind of stress. It means only the it means similar means bending and compressive, and this is a total different category. So this is we are calling as a this second one. So only broadly we can differentiate with the two distinct type of stresses here. So because of that reason, what we are taking here, we are taking the theories of failure equation. Okay. First, we are going to calculate the first what is the bending stress, what is the compressive stress, what is the shear stress. So first one, I'm calculating bending stress. To calculate the bending stress, sigma bending stress due to tangential force, sigma BT. Sigma B is the bending stress due to the tangential force. So what is the basic equation? Bending moment due to tangential stress by section modulus. Okay. So what is section modulus? Blindly remember, Babu, for this, in this case, in the crank case, the section modulus is 1 by 6 into, for the web portion, for the particularly web portion, 1 by 6 into W into T square. W is the width of the web, T is the thickness of the web. Okay. And here, bending stress is due to tangential, that is MBT by 6 MBT by W into T square. So this is the first equation. And the second one, bending stress due to radial force. Bending stress due to radial force. So what is the equation? Bending moment due to radial force. Bending moment due to radial force by section modulus. Okay, sir. bending moment due to radial force by section modulus. What is section model? Section modulus same 1 by 6 into W into T square. Okay. Now bending moment is the one here. Bending moment is, so due to the radial force, bending moment is gathering. See here, the radial force here. So due to this one, the bending moment is generating. What is that? Fr into force in radial direction into 0.75. I'm writing here. This one I'm writing radial force into 0.75 into LC, length of the crank pin, plus 0.5 into T. So see here why I'm taking 0.75, because this is the not a full length. So that reason 0. Fr into 0.75 into 0.5 into its thickness. 0.5 into its thickness, half of portion. It means it's at its central. At its central, the bending moment calculating. Okay. What is the section modulus here? But that is 6 1 by 6 into W into T square. Okay. Now this is the second equation. So this 6 I'm sending here. And now what is the third stress? Third stress is so before this one, what I said, this is the one category. These two are. So these two are I'm calculating as a total compressive stress. Sigma C. Okay. So sigma BT, sigma BR I calculated. Now second one is the compressive stress. Compressive stress is due to the radial direct compressive stress due to the radial force by force into width into thickness. This is the third equation. Now because this is the first two category, so total compressive stress. Total compressive stress is sigma B T due to tangential, sigma B due to radial, direct compressive stress. So what are those? I'm writing here. First one is the 6 MBT by W into T square plus 6 into FR 0.75 into LC, length of the crank pin, 0.5 into thickness of the crank web by W into T square plus FR by load width into thickness. This is the equation for the total compressive stress or total direct stress. Okay. Now the what is the third stress? Third stress is a shear stress due to the tangential force. So torque T is equal to, due to the twisting moment, there will be torque, that is Ft into 0.75 into LC plus 0.5 into T. And what is the shear stress here? The direct shear stress from this equation, T by J is equal to shear stress by R. From the torsion equation, what is the shear stress that I am writing here? Shear stress is T by section modulus, sorry, not section modulus, polar momentum of inertia. So direct I'm writing 4.5 T by W into T square. It means polar momentum of inertia IPRZP W into T square by 4.5. Okay, this is the uh, this is the this is the fourth equation, sorry. This is the fourth equation and this is the fifth equation. Now from the see here one shear stress is there. Previously just now we calculated the direct compressive stress or otherwise direct stress. So the reason I am taking here principal stress, maximum principal stress, that is sigma direct stress by 2 plus 1 by 2 square root of sigma direct stress square plus 4 shear stress square. So why I written this equation? Because the nature of stresses are different. One is a direct stress acting, one is a shear stress is acting. So nature is different here. So this is a component is subject to biaxial stresses. So the reason I am taking this theory of failure equation here. Remember, whenever the object is subject to the biaxial stresses system, we need to take the consideration of theories of failure. Don't forget about this topic, theories of failure. Okay. Now, after applying this equation, finally, what we are going to calculate the total stress here, whatever we are getting, that should be less than the permissible limit. Maximum stress, what we are calculating, that should be permissible limit. It means whatever the calculations you made before this one, that all should be satisfied, and if the values are satisfied, your final value maximum stress is going to lie under the permissible limit. Then you can write the comment. Hence, the proposed values are the proposed values are under safe limits. Safe limits. Otherwise, what happens? Again, you have to re cross check again where you did the mistake and follow the same procedure and show the satisfactory result. Maximum should be less than the permissible limit. Okay, ma? Now next one, design of shaft at the junction of the crank. So here at the junction of the crank, at the junction of the crank, it is at the junction of the crank, the shaft design. Okay, so at the junction of the shaft, the design of shaft is referred as a DS1. It is nothing but diameter of the shaft at the junction of the crank. It is in a mm. Okay, and to calculate this one, what we are calculating here, first we have to take see the shaft here subjecting to the two kind of stresses. One is a bending, one is a torsion. Two type of different nature of stresses are acting on the crankshaft here. What are those? One is the bending moment, one is the torsion moment. So that reason we have to calculate separately how much bending moment is generating and how much torsion is generating there, that we have to separately calculate. And we have to take the second maximum shear stress theory, TE. So TE is nothing but m square plus t square. This is the one equation. And see here, the main concept here, the shaft is subject to the torsion here. So maximum magnitude of failure here, torsion failure. So that reason torsion equation we are taking means torque transmitted by the shaft. General equation T equal pi by 16 into sigma s into dq. This is the second equation. Now equating the one equation to second equation. So pi by 16 into sigma s into d cube square root of m square plus t square. So with this equation, we are going to calculating the, that is S1, S1. So with this equation, what we are going to calculate? ds1 is going to calculate it. Sigma s is a permissible limit. What is m here? What is the t here? The m is nothing but bending moment. So bending moment I'm writing here due to the, what is the cause of this bending moment here? Due to the FQ force. So FQ into 0.75 into LC plus 0.5 into T. And what is the cause of T here? Torque, due to the transmitting the forces here. So torque is nothing but tangential force into radius of the crank. So what is the T? Ft into R. What is the M? Fq into 0.75 into LC plus 0.5 into T. So whatever the I'm making the rectangular boxes around this equation, that equations are very important. Okay. So what is M here? Bending moment. What is T here? Torque transmitted by the shaft. And another equation we have torque transmitted by shaft. This is the one. So by equating the one equation and two equation, so ds is going to calculate in terms of mm. Okay. Now see, design of shaft under flywheel. So design of shaft under flywheel, nothing but ds is how much? That is in mm. Nothing but design. We are designing. We are designing nothing but its physical dimensions, physical parameters we are calculating. So whatever the physical parameters we are calculating here, that parameters are going to sustain the load or pressure. If the parts are not sustained, what happen? There will be chances of failure. So that's the reason the parameters one by one we are calculating here. Now what is ds here? ds is nothing but diameter of the shaft under the flywheel, that we are calculating now. Not calculating, we are determining the ds value here. So to calculate this one, same procedure we have to follow. So here the flywheel, what the shaft, whatever is lying under the flywheel, subject into the two uh, different nature of stresses. Suppose this is a shaft and this is a flywheel. Okay, flywheel is continuously rotating. So because of that reason, it is subject to torque, and flywheel having the somewhat weight. So due to that, it is subject to the bending moment. Okay, so different type of stresses are gathering here. So that reason, equivalent torque, we are writing the equation, that is T equal to m square plus t square. And now consider this as a one equation. And here shaft size we are calculating. So the failure is going to take place mostly in this case due to the torsion only, because the flywheel is having the heavy speed. So that's the reason here the failure is going to take place because of the most the dominant one is here T. So that reason torque transmitted by the shaft to capital T is equal to pi by 16 into sigma s into d cube. So what is d cube here? ds cube. Okay, this is the second equation. Now I'm equating the equation 1 to equation 2. So pi by 16 into sigma s into ds cube equals square root of m square plus t square. Now sigma s is a permissible shear stress, m is a bending moment, t is a torque. So here this is also equation appearing same as the previous case, second point, but the difference is here in calculating the bending moment and calculating the torque. Okay, so what is bending moment here? Though see here the flywheel, due to the flywheel we are calculating the size. Under the flywheel we are calculating the size of the shaft. Okay, so the resultant bending moment due to the radial bending moment acting on the shaft is obtained by the, now see here, horizontal bending moment 1 Fp into A plus B2 A plus B2 minus HR1 square plus T1 square into B. So this is the horizontal bending moment acting on the shaft due to gas load of the combustion process. Now bending moment second is due to the flywheel location. It means flywheel load. Due to the flywheel load, the second movement is, or we can write as a T1 plus T2 B1 B2 by B. So this is due to the weight of the flywheel. Okay, so there will be two bending moment. One is due to the gas load, one is due to the flywheel weight. Okay, now total horizontal bending moment, how much? Total horizontal bending moment m1 plus m2. Okay, now vertical movements are due to the flywheel weight. There will be a vertical reactions. So vertical bending moment is uh, v1 into b2 equal v2 into b1, or w into b1 b2 by b. And see here, horizontal is a one component, vertical is a one component. Horizontal force, horizontal, and is a vertical. So two different components are there. We need a one resultant bending moment. So one resultant bending moment we can find out like this: square root of mh square plus mv square. And now this is a resultant bending moment, not radial. And the torque transmitted by the shaft T equal tangential force into radius of the crank. Now here, bending moment, torque. So bending moment, I am applying this equation here. Torque equation I am applying here. So see, in this previous case, what is the bending moment equation? In the previous case, bending moment equation Fq into 0.75 into L C plus 0.5 into T. And torque equation is a Ft into R. So a torque equation is same, but bending moment equation is changed here. Horizontal plus vertical. So what is the reason here we're taking the horizontal vertical? See here, one is a vertical reaction due to the flywheel, and due to the flywheel and as well as gas load, there will be horizontal forces. So the reason one resultant bending moment we are taking here. Okay, so calculate it separately, substitute in this equation. Permissible limit will be given in the question. Only the unknown one is the diameter of the shaft under the flywheel. How much in mm? That is the solving procedure for the design of shaft under the flywheel. Okay, and next one. So with this, the design procedure of the total entire crankshaft is over. Okay, so I'm repeating again. See, there are two type of crankshafts are there. First one is a side crankshaft. Second one is a center crankshaft. For side crankshaft, only one So there are two types of crankshafts are there. One is a side crankshaft. Second one is a center crankshaft. For the side crankshaft, only one. It means this side web is not there. For center crankshaft, there will be two webs are there. Means this kind of crankshaft is a center crankshaft, maybe up to here or maybe this one or maybe. But for the side crankshaft, only single web is there. That's all. Okay. And these two different type of crankshafts are going to solve by the two different categories. First category is the subjecting to the maximum bending moment, that is at the dead center. Second category is the at an angle, particular angle, subjecting to the maximum twisting moment. So these two side crankshaft and center crankshafts are going to design based on the two criteria. That is, I'm writing here. First one is the at dead center, means maximum bending moment, and second one is the at an angle at an angle maximum twisting moment. So these two are going to design on the basis of these two criteria. It means this one is having the two different two design procedures, and this one is having the two design procedures. Total 4 design procedures you need to remember. So if you remember the design procedure, easily you can solve the entire numerical problem. Question may ask for the side crankshaft with the help of bending moment criteria. Question may ask for the center crankshaft with the help of at an angle twist maximum torsion moment. Okay. The question will not ask combining these all four categories. Any one category is going to select and ask to solve the problem. Otherwise, particular side crankshaft will be given and asked to design based on these two criteria. Like this, it is going to ask. So first, while solving the problem, you have to identify whether the crankshaft given side crankshaft or center crankshaft. After identifying, question is asking to solve whether bending moment criteria or torsional moment criteria. So after identifying like this, directly you can apply the design procedure and easily you can solve the problems. Okay. So now, if you don't have any doubts, shall I move to the solvation one problem? Okay. I'm writing the given data. చెప్తారా? So I'm writing the given data. Design a plain carbon steel. So material type is given. Remember, material type is given plain carbon steel. Center crankshaft. See here, observation you have to do in this manner. First, what type of material given? Plain carbon steel is given. And what type of crankshaft is given? Center crankshaft. For a single acting 4-stroke single cylinder engine. Okay. The following data. What are those? Bore diameter. I'm writing capital D, 400 mm. Stroke. The length of is given 600 mm.
Excuse me, Fadil sir.
Sir.
Just 1 minute, sir. I will announce a small thing.
Okay, sir.
Dear students, good afternoon, all of you. So
Good afternoon,
today,
sir.
already you know about good afternoon. Already you know about the T-Hub. Last time we have conducted one webinar about the T-Hub entrepreneurship also. So the T-Hub is now conducting a psychometric quiz in the afternoon session. Today afternoon session at 2:30 p.m. So I request all of you to join the session and take the psychometric test. We will provide you the link. We'll provide you the link for the examination that will be shared at 2:30 p.m. sharply. So in the afternoon session at 2:30 p.m. there will be no regular classes. Only the psychometric test will be conducted. Okay. So Fazal sir will share with you one message. Please follow that one. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Fazal sir, please continue.
Okay, sir. So stroke length is given 600 mm, and engine speed is 200 rpm, and mean effective pressure 0.5 into Newton, 0.5 Newton per mm square, and maximum combustion pressure nothing but gas pressure, Babu. Gas pressure 2.5 Newton per mm square, and weight of the flywheel used on the pulley is 50 kilonewtons. So weight of the flywheel I'm writing here, 50 kg kilonewton per kilonewtons. Total belt tension, belt tension T1 plus T2, that is 6.5 kilonewtons, and the crank has a turn through 35 degrees. So crank is having the turning, that is T is equal to 35 degrees. Okay, and from the top dead center, the pressure on the piston is 1 Newton per mm square. So particularly for one turning, this is the total gas pressure, particular one turn for this 35 degrees, 1 Newton per mm square. The ratio of length of the crank to the radius of the crank is 5. Nothing but connecting rod length to crank radius is 5. Assume any other data you required for the design. Okay, so in examination such type of statement is given, so you can select whatever data you require. For suppose the question is not mentioned with this line in examination, it means the whatever the data is required for the solvation of the answer, that will be provided here in the question itself. If the data is not providing in the question, it means the statement assume any other data required for the design. Like this, the statement is going to mention. Okay. So now tell me which shaft we are going to designing now. Which shaft we are designing here? Crankshaft we are designing. What type of crankshaft? Center crankshaft we are designing, because question is mentioned here center crankshaft. Now for designing, there are two criteria we are selecting. First one is the piston at the maximum bending moment at the dead center. Maximum bending moment nothing but at the dead center, and at an angle theta for the maximum twisting moment. Based on these two criteria, we are designing the center crankshaft. So see here, the question is not mentioned with which criteria we have to follow. So that reason I am considering that these two. If particularly question is asked, so then what criteria he is asked, through that criteria only we have to follow. Okay, Babu. Here the question is not mentioned through which criteria we have to solve the answer. So that reason both criteria I am taking here and solving the designing the crankshaft here. Okay. Now first one. First one, crankshaft at the dead center. Crankshaft at the dead center, and the gas load is acting on the crankshaft due to the gas pressure, that is pi by 4 into d square and maximum gas pressure. So maximum gas pressure is acting how much? 2.5. What is the bore diameter? 400 mm. So substituting here gas force pi by 4 into d square 400 mm square into 2.5. So why I am taking directly 400 mm? Because the pressure is given mm square, so dimensions also diameter also should take in a mm. If the pressure is was given Newton per meter square, then we have to convert this 400 mm into meters. So here already the gas pressure is available in mm, so the reason directly I'm substituting the diameter in terms of mm. Now what is FP here? Tell me the FP value. Substitute in calcium, get the FP value. Please tell me the value, Babu. 5 by 4 into how much, Babu? Tell me the 314 200 newtons. So 314.2 kilonewtons. This is the gas force acting on the crankshaft. Now we are assuming the distance between B value, the distance between the bearings. I'm writing here bearing 1 and bearing 2, that is B, equal to that twice the piston of the diameter, that is 2 into D. So it means how much B value? 2 into 400. It means 800 mm. Okay. And B1, B2. So B1, B2 is B1, B2 is the relation, empirical relation B by 2. That is 400. Okay. So because of this gas force Fp, there will be a two horizontal reactions that are H1 and H2. This one already we discussed. Okay. So what are those H1, H2? I'm writing here. H1 equal Fp into B1 by B. What is H2? H2, it means due to the gas force there will be two horizontal reactions. The two horizontal reactions I'm writing Fp into B2 by B. So I said one thing, Babu. No, there is a no, not here, not required to derive the design procedure. Only the whatever the I'm making the rectangular boxes around the equation. That boxes equation, that rectangular equations are important. So the reason I'm writing here. Fp we got how much? That 314.2 into what is B1? 400. What is B? 800. Here Fp is a 314.2 into 400 by B value 800. Okay. Now what is H1? What is H2? Get it fast, Babu. Get it the value. H1, H2 both are same in magnitude because 314 divided by 2. 314 divided by 2 means 114 means 5, 6.
Sir,
Yeah.
H1 157.1.
Okay, wait. 157.1 H1 and H2 also same
Yes, sir.
because both values are appearing here same. Where is happen? Is it appearing above my screen?
Yes, sir. Appearing, sir.
What screen? What is appearing on the screen? Just tell me.
Sir, names, sir. Everyone names. Participants.
It is changed here. Why it is happening? I don't know. Okay, that is 157.1 mm. Okay, H1 has to be calculated, and we are assuming the length of the bearing. Sorry, this is length of the bearing C1 equals C2 equals C by 2. And we are assuming like this. And we know that due to the flywheel, the load is acting downwards. Okay. And because of the load is acting downwards, there will be a two reactions at the bearing 1 and bearing 2. Sorry, bearing 2 and bearing 3. So due to the weight of the flywheel, there will be a two vertical reactions V2 and V3. Okay. And the length of the bearings are C1, C2, that is equal to C by 2. And now V2 is the equation W into C1 by C. V3 is W into uh, W into C2 by C. So C1, C2, what I written here? C by 2. Just I'm assuming. So V2 equal W into C by 2C. Here V3 equal W into C by 2C. CC gets cancelled. Now V2, V3 both are same. How much weight of the flywheel? The weight of the flywheel is given 50 kilonewtons. 50 by 2, that is 25 kilonewtons. Okay, we got the V2, V3. And due to the belt tension, T1 plus T2, there will be two reactions, H2 dash and H3 dash. So what is H2 dash? H2 dash is T1 plus T2 into C1 by C. What is H3 dash? T1 plus T2 into C2 by C. Now what I said here, assuming C by 2. C1 is C1, C2, C by 2 I assumed. So the reason T1 plus T2 by 2. Here T1 plus T2 by 2. So what is T1 plus T2? Tension. Belt tension is given in the question itself. That is 6.5. So this is 6.5 by 2. Here 6.5 by 2. So now how much will be H2 and H3? H2 dash, H3 dash, both are appearing same. So how much H2, H3? 6.5 by 2. It means 3.25. 3.25 kilonewtons. Now see here, first what I calculated? Gas pressure I calculated. So due to this gas pressure, there will be a two horizontal reactions, H1, H2. And due to the flywheel, there will be a two vertical reactions at the bearings, V2, V3. And due to the belt tension, there will be a two horizontal reactions at the um, belt portion, H2 dash, H3 dash. These parameters I calculated separately. Okay. And now for every problem in the crankshaft design, this whatever the finding out these parameters are common now. H1, H2, V2, V3, H2 dash, H3 dash. These are the common parameters. Okay. And now first point. What is the first point in design procedure? Design of crank pin. Crank pin. So design of crank pin, it is denoted by D suffix C. So our answer should be in mm. So design of crankshaft, crank pin. In the design procedure, first what we calculated. So the crank pin subject into the bending moment, how much? H1 into B2. That is H1 how much we calculated, how much we got the answer 157.1. B2 how much we got 400 mm. Okay. And bending moment, this is the because of application of the load, and generally direct bending moment because of application load, we know that pi by 32 into dc cube into sigma b. Okay. And now equating, this is the first equation and this is the second equation. Okay. Now equating the one equal to 2. So how much, Babu? 157 into 400. 157.1 into 400. How much you got? 62,840 Newton mm. So pi by 32 dc cube sigma b value. So sigma b value how much? Sigma b value how much? See whether it is given in the problem. Sigma b value is not given in the question. So I am assuming here sigma b value, permissible limit for the plain carbon steel. Material name is given. So based on the material name, plain carbon steel, the sigma b value is 75. I am writing that equal to 62840. Now tell me what is the DC value. Simplify this equation and tell me the DC value. DC in mm. Just tell me the DC value. Just tell me the DC value, and rest of the problem we'll discuss in the next class.